Hello, and welcome back to the Late Early Show. Now, today's episode is a bit different because it's an interlude episode. And for tonight's guest, we have a man who is a legend in his own right and has sat next to legends in rallying history. You know, he's done it all from Fiat to Lancia to Audi. You might know him from this.
Achtung, Nachgruppe links minus, 40, Nachgruppe mittelrechts plus rein, 80.
Please welcome Christian Geistdörfer.
Hello, Mr. Geistdörfer. How are you today?
I'm super fine. I'm following the ski race here in Kitzbühel, and on the other eye, I'm watching the results from Rally Monte Carlo, which is going on these days as well. So I'm very pleased and happy, and that's the important thing.
Well, that's lovely. How's the weather over there?
It's sunshine, blue sky, -3 degrees. So
Oh my God,
nothing
chilly.
to complain. Yeah, we had -18 last week, so it's fine.
Okay. When I'm just gonna jump right into this. Now you have Lancia returning to Monte Carlo after a very long time in WRC2. So when you see that mark today, what comes to mind?
I'm very pleased Lancia is back because it's a great name. They won so many events, championships, unbelievable, and the 037 was a very, very successful successor of the Stratos, the Delta, and there's a fantastic example to continue that story of success. But then nothing happened for nearly 20 years. Yeah, but the Ypsilon is, first of all, it's only for the second category in rallying, so you can't win with it. It's only front-wheel driven, but somehow it's the re-entering of the brand in the rally sport, which I really appreciate because they bring color to the whole scene.
Right.
Monte Carlo is a very difficult event. It's for weather reasons and road conditions. It's the most complicated event we have in the calendar. And therefore, it's also great success when you're able to win it. But on the other hand, winning means you have to come to the finish first. And that's a rough track to achieve that.
When people talk about your career, they often jump straight to your work with Audi. But you were already deeply embedded in rallying way before that, with Lancia, the Fiat 131 Abarth, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. And I honestly have to say, with Audi hasn't been our most successful time, even when we spent 4 years there. We were driving mostly in the beginning, the Fiat. We joined Fiat in 77 to drive the 131, and we left Fiat in the end of 1980 to drive Mercedes.
Mercedes, okay.
Yes, the factory car. And then unfortunately, Mercedes closed down for political reasons. So we were 81 without car in the World Championship. So Porsche came up and said, listen, we have got a small program for promotion reasons. The 924 was built in those days in a very special version. And they asked to do some rally with that car. And they promised to build a car for the Sanremo rally, which was a 911 SC. We didn't go for a 2 season to Audi. We went to Opel to drive the Ascona 400. We were able to fight for the championship again. And in the end, we beat Michel Mouton in a head-to-head fight in the Bandama Rally in 1982. And we won the second World Championship title. And then instead to go to Audi, we again did a move going to Lancia, driving the 037. Which is, in Walter's and my eyes, the most beautiful car we had ever in rally.
I know, right? Confession, the Lancia 037 is my favorite car of all time.
It was our most successful season. Even we didn't win the World Championship event.
I believe that was because of Walter not wanting to win, is it not?
Really, is correct. And we had a contract only for 6 World Championship events. And imagine, we won, out of these 6, we won 3. 2 times we have been second because for team orders, we were not allowed to win. And 1 time we finished 3rd. So that's an unbelievable success story. And we finished the World Championship ranking as 2nd in that year. But for me, in my opinion, it was the best season we ever did.
Feel like the end of an era, the rear-wheel drive cars?
Absolutely. It was without compromises, the fantastic car because it was center engine, rear-wheel drive, very light, really built to the edge on the regulation, and it was so easy to drive. It fits to Walter's driving style like a very nice glove, and I felt very comfortable in that car. Even when people said, "Oh, how can you drive this car? It's all plastic around, and you have an accident." And I used to repeat only to say, "This car is built to be driven on the road and not going into the forest by accident." So, funny enough, we had that year not a single collision or something like that.
What was it like, in the Group B era especially, because...
And with the Group B, it was a complete different story. Because the cars were so powerful. So when we joined Audi in '84, we had 420, 430 horsepower. That was the ordinary long body Quattro.
Okay, the
Then
A2.
Sorry?
The A2 then.
Yes. And
Okay.
then we got the short version, and then we got the S1 with the big swings and the aerodynamic things and like that. And then we had already 500 horsepower. So imagine the acceleration in that car in 1985 was already 2.8 seconds from 0 to 100. There are not many supercars in those days to do that acceleration. And the annoying thing was it didn't matter on which ground you accelerated. If it's asphalt or gravel, 2.8 seconds off you go, and it's like a bullet, There it was really difficult to read those. You had to calculate and to time your breathing, because suddenly by this acceleration, which was so strong to the body, you lose the air in the lungs. So you are unable to speak. We had big brakes in that car. So it was not only about acceleration, also the braking was on asphalt. It was mind-blowing because we had once a test drive with journalists. And there were some journalists, because they are not used to it and physically not prepared, by the hard braking on asphalt, they lost their conscience. So, it came down like a shallow sea that they got black eyes, and suddenly they woke up again and they said, "Oh, what's going on? What happened?" So physically, it was very, very, very hard.
No, I would have loved to sit in one of the Quattro S1s or the Delta S4. I mean, it would have been crazy, that's for sure.
Yes, definitely. It's still very crazy because
Yeah.
these cars have been so powerful, so on the edge what you could do technically. And I believe that the S4 was the ultimate solution of a real powerful car. Turbo and compressor charged engine. So you had always incredible torque, very compact car, weight limit. Unfortunately, we lost Henry Toivonen in that car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cresto
it
and
was a
Toivonen.
very sad thing.
What would they think if Toivonen and Cresto if they were still here today? What would they think about the modern rallying scene?
The modern rally cars, even they are less powerful, they are doing better times on the stages which we have done because of the suspension is so much better. That's the reason why they could do these big jumps. If nowadays, if you would have done a jump like this, the car would have fallen into pieces. And tires are much better, and they have this half automatic shifting on the steering wheel and a lot of things which makes driving so much easier. But no doubt, if you look to Sebastian Ogier or the other guys, they are doing a great job.
I mean, I think it was Walter who made the statement that if a car is really fast, then you have to be scared of it, right? I think he said something along the lines of that, yes?
Yes, it's correct. He said, a car is only fast if you are afraid to put the key in the door in the morning.
I've heard that rally drivers and co-drivers, they're very superstitious. So is there like a lucky ritual you have or a lucky object before a race?
Not for us personally, because
No?
when you're acting on that high level in rallying, meaning participating for a factory team in the World Championship level, you are convinced that everything you're doing, you don't question yourself. You're a good team. You trust each other. You believe in each other, and you do a very normal job. It gets a kind of routine.
So no lucky sock or something then?
No.
What should people know about Christian Geistdörfer apart from rallying?
When I finished rallying, we were forced by Audi to split up because Audi closed down the rally department. They decided to go to America. I continued 2 years with Hannu Mikkola. As I was never in love with Group A, because when you have been so many years with the Group B cars, everything in the Group A was in super slow motion.
Of course, yes.
So I decided in end of '89 to quit the rally sport. So I was running my own agency. I was working for IMG. I was working 3 years there, not full-time, but on the side, looking after Formula One drivers like Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, Emerson Fittipaldi, Jackie Stewart, and things like that. So we had a good and close relationship with Ayrton Senna, and that was fun. And I did it for 3 years until Ayrton died, and which was a big shock for me. And
I am so sorry.
And I didn't want to get involved in those things anymore. I had a return in Formula One in 1997 because I was doing sponsor relationship for the Warsteiner Brewery. And that was the beginning of a 15 years working relationship with Formula One in different positions. And I enjoyed it very much. But again, after 15 years, I said, it's enough. I've seen everything so many times.
And what is it that you do now? What is life like now?
I'm involved in a thing which I like very much. That's vintage car rallies. I'm involved in Concours d'Elegance, as I'm getting 73 next month.
Oh my, you don't look a day over 50. Come on.
Yeah, but it's the truth. So
No.
I do a lot of things which I really like from the bottom of my heart. After 50 years in motorsport or in car business, you have a lot of experience, and you know what works and what will not work, because you have experienced it so many times. And the world didn't change so much. We have still the basic rules.
What's your favorite story? Something unexpected, something no one would have heard about.
So it's very hard to find a story which was not published yet or explained. But
Okay, what's your favorite, maybe?
You know, my favorite is that was because it brought so many things together. You know, Gilles Villeneuve.
Yes.
Formula One driver, Ferrari. And as he was in Ferrari, which was owned by Fiat, and we were driving Fiat, they decided to participate in the Giro d'Italia, which is a famous format for racing in those days. In basic, it was a 5-day event where you did normal stages in the mountains, and on the other hand, you did some circuits on the way over these 5 days. So they decided that Gilles Villeneuve is with us not in the car, but in the team, doing the circuits. And Walter and myself, we do the special stages. And I was the only person who was always on board, because I was guiding Gilles Villeneuve and Walter. So on the other car, the second one, was Riccardo Patrese, also very famous Italian Formula One driver, Marco Allen, and Dilka Kivimäki. And we had great fun in those 5 days. Even it was very complicated because it was a Group 5 race car. It was not supposed to be on a normal, ordinary road. But we did with that kind of car 5 days, and it was incredibly fast. It was top speed 270. And as we had so many technical problems because the alternator was too small, the battery was too small, so electric was very tricky, and so we were always late. So on normal roads we had to go really flat out. And I was sitting next to Walter and saying to him, I know we are late and we have to hurry up. But driving Italian normal country roads during the night, headlights, 50 all the time. It's like Russian roulette, you know? If somebody is driving and coming out from a small road to the side, there you are. It's finito la musica, yeah? And yeah, that's this kind of stories you go through and you do it, and in the end you say, thank you very much, everything went fine, we are still there.
Okay. Well, we are out of time. Thank you so much, Mr. Geistdörfer. It was so nice to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it very much, and I hope you keep going and fighting for the good things.